Bak.
Merhaba arkadaşlar, hepiniz IEFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün İrlanda'nın en önde gelen üniversitelerinden Immaculate College'da eğitim ve çalışma olanaklarını Alison'dan dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı questions kısmından sormayı unutmayın. Yes, Alison, the stage is yours now.
Thank you so much, Zainab. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. My name is Alison. I am based in Limerick in Ireland, which is where the Mary Immaculate College campus is. I'm going to share my screen now because I do have a little PowerPoint to share with you. And this will give you a little bit more information about us, about what we're about. And of course, you'll have the opportunity to ask me questions as well at the end. So this is one of my favorite pictures. The sun is shining, but basically this is our main, the main building. This building is about 125 years old now. We were founded in 1898. We're an inclusive multi-campus university level college of education and liberal arts. Very mixed kind of infrastructure on campus. That last building, as you saw, 125 years old. This is one of our newer buildings. It's less than 10 years old. So it's really a very mixed, it's very, very mixed in all the different architecture that you see there. So we would actually have undergraduate programs as well as graduate programs at diploma, master's and PhD level. Some additional subjects we have for our international students include heritage studies, beginners Irish language, English as a foreign language, and English for academic purposes. The campus itself, as I mentioned, it's located in Limerick City. We're a very friendly and safe city. The campus is quite close to the centre of town, which is where, you know, there's all the shopping, eating, socialising. So it's only about 10 minutes from campus. We also have a lot of accommodation options very close to the campus, as well as our on-campus accommodation. And we have a growing and diverse community of almost 5,000 students. So that's a good number, but at the same time, it's not so big that you get lost. There's a lot of people, you know, you get to see the same faces, so you will get to know people very well. Limerick is a very low-cost city, which is great because that means accommodation for our students can be between 2,300 or 2,500 per semester. We have lots of different options, so that's why there's a price variance there. But it is one of the, in terms of student accommodation costs, it's one of the lowest in the country because we do have a pretty good system here in Limerick. We are a riverside city. We're on the west coast of Ireland, and we're actually known as a student city because out of a population of 100,000, 30,000 of those are students. So there's a very, very vibrant and student-centric atmosphere in Limerick. Yeah, we have our own international airport too. So Shannon International Airport is only 20 minutes away from Limerick City. So we really have the best of both worlds. And in terms of where it is, I know most people are very familiar with Dublin. So Dublin is on the east of the country. Limerick, as I mentioned, is on the west, but it's still only about 2.5 hours to get from Limerick to Dublin. So you don't have to pay the accommodation costs of living in a capital city, but you can still make the most of visiting it. We're also right in the middle of Galway City and Cork City, which are two other lovely places to visit. Basically, the west coast of Ireland is a fabulous place to be located because there's so many sites to see on your time off as a student. Then in terms of the subjects, so as I mentioned, we are a college of liberal arts and education. The liberal arts is very, very strong. We have really a variety of programs that you can choose from at undergraduate level. So our Bachelor of Arts is very popular. This program is great because all of these subjects you see listed here, English, mathematics, media, psychology, French, German, all of those subjects. You get to choose 4 of those subjects in first year to study. And that means you can actually try them out and see which ones actually suit you, which ones you like. And at the end of first year, you choose 2 of those that you take to your final year. So you end up graduating with a dual major, a double degree. So that's why this subject is actually, it's very, very popular with our international students. Then we also have a Bachelor of Arts in Contemporary and Applied Theatre Studies. This is quite a niche subject. Not everybody is interested in theatre, but for those who are, it's a fantastic program because it doesn't just focus on acting, it actually focuses on the technical skills that you need as well. So when you graduate, you haven't just improved upon your acting skills, you actually have other skills to offer as well, be that lighting, costumes, backstage, anything like that. And this is actually our theatre, the Lime Tree Theatre that we have on campus. So this is basically, there's national shows are set here, and this theatre is actually open to the students of Mary Immaculate College to do their studies. So we guarantee at least 15 theatre visits, and of course any of the school shows that the college puts on, you're heavily involved in those as well. Another one that's very popular with our international student is our Bachelor of Arts in Early Childhood Care and Education. There's a really big focus on that subject in Ireland. It's taken very, very seriously. So this is actually a 4-year program to actually graduate with a degree in Early Childhood Care and Education. You focus on the care and education of young children from birth to 6 years of age. So they are the very young infant children there, and you go through all the theory and practice. The thing about this particular subject is a lot of it is based in different areas. So you do go and you visit playgroups, you visit daycare centres, creches, early start units, and preschools, and that's throughout the duration of the program. So for everything you learn in the classroom, you then go and you put it into practice in an actual facility where young children are. Additionally then, we have a Bachelor of Arts in Education and Business Studies. And the reason the dots are there is because with that, you either choose accounting, mathematics, or religious studies. So you might do the BA in Education, Business and Accounting, or you may do BA in Education, Business and Mathematics. But ultimately what you're getting is you're getting that qualification in Business Studies, you're getting the qualification in Accounting, but you are also getting a qualification to teach those subjects. So that's actually very popular as well. Now that is out in our second campus, which is in Thurles, County Tipperary. So that's about an hour away from our main campus in Limerick. It's a much smaller campus because that's what they focus on is the BA in education. But obviously this is something that's open up to our international students as well. What do you need to know really? Why would students think about coming to Ireland to study? Well, your degree from MIC is transferable worldwide. So that means if you want to either go on to further study, or if you want to go on and work, it's recognised internationally through the Irish National Framework of Qualifications and the European Credit Transfer and Accumulation System. So it's not just a degree in Ireland to use in Ireland, it can literally be used anywhere around the world once you get the qualification. Our tuition fees then, we definitely have some of the more affordable tuition fees. At the moment it's €11,128 per year. Basically payment plans can actually be arranged with our student fees office also, so that any payments can be split into smaller increments. What I will say is that the programs are generally 4 years, but some of our programs you can actually graduate in just 3 years, and save the cost of tuition of a fourth academic year. So the two of the subjects that I mentioned earlier, the Bachelor of Arts and the Bachelor of Arts in Contemporary and Applied Theatre Studies, they can actually be done in 3 years because our international students are already considered to be studying abroad. Our Irish students have to go abroad in that year, but because international are already abroad, you're kind of seeing that you can be exempt from the third year if you wish. So you could actually end up getting your 4-year degree in just 3 years. For some students, we actually have a student from the United States who did their Bachelor of Arts in 3 years, and in their 4th year here, they actually decided to do their Master's in Media Studies. So she came over here to do the degree, and now she's going home after 4 years with an actual Master's degree. So any of our Master's degrees, they're only 1 year. And basically the cost of those can be anywhere between 9,000 or 11,000 euro. But we do have a wide range of postgraduate programs for students to choose from. Additionally, there is a 2-year stay back with the master's program. So once you complete your degree, the government have actually said, yeah, you can actually stay back for 2 years in Ireland and work within your field as well. So that's always something to think about if you're looking at studying abroad, and that stay back option is open to all of our international students. Of course, if you decide that you want to take the 4 years to complete your undergraduate degree, you can choose to do the 3rd year, and you can actually choose to study abroad. So what that basically means is we are giving you the opportunity to go to any of our partner universities. That's across all of Europe, the United States, Latin America, Asia, or Australia, and you can either study there for a semester or a year if your subjects will allow. So that's another option that is open to international students. We just have found that a lot of our international students would prefer to move straight into 4th year and complete in 3 years. But this is an option for you as well. If you'd like to complete it in the 4 years, you get to study abroad in year 3. So campus then, as I mentioned, we have about 5,000 students. That means it's not so big that students get lost in the noise. We do have really, really good supports for students. In the international office, for example, there's about 10 of us. So really the international office is open all the time. Students call in, talk to us. We know them all by name, we know their family. So it's really all about, there's definitely a very solid group within that. Additionally, you'll have chaplaincy services, a counselling service, and of course, we definitely open this to international students too. We have our medical centre, health promotion unit, academic learning centre. That's actually something that's very valuable for our international students, particularly if English isn't their first language. The Academic Learning Centre will just give you support there all the way through your undergraduate degree. We have student parent support, and of course we have the Students' Union. Students' Union is very important at MIC because that's basically, you become part of the Students' Union once you enroll. You become aware of all the social aspects, any organised events. You can become part of all the clubs and societies, of which we have so many, so many different. If you decide you want to set up your own society, there's certainly no problem in doing that either. The Students' Union basically help you with all of that as you move through your college life. And of course, we have sports facilities as well. We have the Irish sports, which is, of course, the Irish students love it. Not so interesting to international students, but it's always good to see something different anyway. But we also have 2 large sport pitches. We have a basketball court, table tennis. We have our gym, and the gym organise great classes as well. There'd either be dance classes, fitness classes, anything like that. And there's special discounted rates for any of our students as well who want to use the gym or attend any of the classes. International then, of course, you do have the dedicated international office to help you at the MIC campus, but we very much want you to be integrated with Irish students as well. So with the clubs and societies, that's where you actually get to meet with students. And as I said, the sizes with the 5,000, that means then your class sizes are a bit smaller, so you get to meet students. And the student-lecturer ratio is actually very good too. So you'll find that even your lecturers will know you by name. So we very much, even accommodation as well, we want you to be kind of integrated with the Irish students. So ultimately, friends you make in first year, they're the same friends you have by the end of your time there. So entry requirements then. We look for a minimum average grade of 70% in your high school diploma. Plus we look for competitive grades in 1 year of a bachelor degree. So it is a requirement that you have 1 year of a bachelor degree completed. However, if you don't, we will actually facilitate a foundation year for you within Ireland. So if you don't have 1 year of a bachelor degree completed, but you do have 70% in your diploma for high school, we can actually, you can come over, you can do an international foundation year with one of our partners. And from that, then you will get into year 1 of the undergraduate degree. So that's just to keep in mind. Again, for direct entry, you do need IELTS English score between 6.5 and 7. But if you have a score of 5, again, that's something we can facilitate with the International Foundation course. And actually, once you attend that, then you will then be able to attend MIC for your studies. So this is my email address here. It's alison.ryan@mic.ul.ie. Essentially, I work in international admissions, so any queries you have, I look after them. If you do want to apply, again, I look after you. So anything you need to know, I am actually the person that you would contact. So that's just really a brief overview. We specialize, as I mentioned, in the Bachelor of Arts subject. So we do have a lot of expertise, and I would certainly welcome any questions that you might have about that. If there's anything at all that you'd like to ask me, I'd be delighted to answer questions for you. So I will see if there's any there now. So I have a question here about master's programs. Are they 1 year? Yes, they are. Do they include internships? No, they don't. The 1 year of the master's program is very much study-based. Now, that's not to say that because, as I mentioned, you get the 2 years stay back, which means you can find employment. And I know, for instance, media studies is very popular. I'm sure that our faculty have connections within the media studies industry, the media industry. So I know that they could actually potentially help you find work afterwards. But the actual 1 year master's itself is fully study. It's a taught master's, so there isn't an internship included. I see another question. Can we get a work permit while studying? Yes, so when you get your visa, student visa will actually allow you to work for 20 hours part-time when it's term time. When it's holiday time, you can actually work full-time, 40 hours a week. So that's something that's actually no problem at all. Okay, I have one question here about GPA requirements. We actually have a 3.0 GPA minimum requirement, so unfortunately a 2.4 wouldn't work. However, if you want to consider doing the International Foundation year before entry into MIC, that's something that we could facilitate with you. English language proficiency. Okay, so for direct entry, it's IELTS 6.5 to 7.0. If you have less, it's a minimum of 5.0, and you would go the International Foundation route. So that means you do the International Foundation program for 1 year, and then you can enter year one of the bachelor process, the bachelor degree. How long is the application process? Well, it's a rolling process, so you send in your application, we review it immediately. If you're considered acceptable, yeah, we will send you an acceptance letter straight away. So there, we really try to get back to students as quickly as possible. In terms of, for instance, our term starts in September. We would prefer, our closing date for applications is 1st of July. However, in terms of taking accommodation into consideration, your visa into consideration, we do always say to students, don't leave it until July. Get your application in as quickly as possible. Some countries, the visa application system can take 3 months or more. So we would actually just, look into that and see what, how long you need to get your visa. Also in Ireland, student accommodation fills up very, very quickly. If you're going to leave it until July, you're going to find it very hard to get the accommodation you want. So we do ask students, just the sooner you can kind of think about things and make a decision, basically the more options that will be available to you. Okay, does marketing master's program require work experience? We don't actually offer a marketing master's program. In terms of business, the business subjects we offer are in our Thurles campus, and that's only at undergrad level, and that degree is in conjunction with a teaching degree. So we don't actually have a master's in marketing. Do we have specific partner global companies in Ireland for internship? We do have a placement office. So the placement office would actually be better able to answer that. And we just look after the incoming students, but the placement office would actually look after placing students in employment during the year for internship. For instance, again, I just know media very well. I know the media program at undergrad level, they had a year-long internship at Snapchat. So that's the kind of thing you're looking at. And I think they're actually Ireland is the European hub for a lot of the big tech companies like that, Facebook, Snapchat, anything like that. So there's certainly avenues available for that. Are you able to work after graduation? Yeah, certainly. There's a 1-year stay back after the undergraduate, and there's a 2-year stay back after any masters. And that means you'll have your visa extended for that length of time and to find work. I have a question there on accommodation prices. Yes, so accommodation per semester, you'd be looking, if you go for any of the official college accommodation, between €2,300 or up to €2,500 per semester. So maybe a maximum of 5,000 per year. Now, because MIC, we're very close to the city centre, we actually have a lot of private houses around us that are rented out to students. They could actually work out cheaper. I suppose in general anyway, when first years come, they all want to stay in the college accommodation because we arrange it for them. Then when they make their own friends and they have their own groups, some of them might actually want to rent some of the private accommodation around the campus anyway. They go out on their own, rent their own apartment. But yeah, it could actually be cheaper than the 5,000 per year, depending on what you're looking at. Can we pass foundation year if we study foundation year at any other school? Ultimately, we have a recommended partner here that we work with. If you were to do a foundation somewhere, you'd have to send me the name first, and we have to check it out and make sure it's recommended. We have a partner in Ireland called IEFT. They look after the foundation for us, for any of the students who want to come to MIC. We would very much appreciate, that's the one that we know and it's recommended. So if you want to do anything outside of that, you'd have to let us know in advance so that we can check it out and make sure that it is actually suitable, and it will make sure that you can get into our undergraduate program. A lot of very good questions there. I hope I've answered them for you. You know, and obviously I gave my email address there. It's alison.ryan@mic.ul.ie. If you have anything else that you want to send to me, we can take the conversation offline. I'll just have a look at the chat here, see if there's anything. Oh, you're all saying hello to me. Well, thank you. Well, listen, I will tell you all that most definitely I'm very available to answer any questions for you. I know sometimes it's hard when you're on a call like this. I'd also be happy to arrange a one-on-one call with any of you if you'd like to talk to me some more about anything. I know there's a lot to think about. But we do have a lot of experience in this, and we'd be very happy to answer any more questions for you. Also, we do have a lot of international students who'd be happy to talk to you as well. We have not had anybody from Turkey before, but we've students from Asia, Africa, the US. Yeah, so there's really loads of different students who can give you their opinion, tell you what to look out for. You know, it does always help to speak to other students, I think. So I don't know, does anybody else have any other questions for me? What I'll do is I'm going to put my email address in here for you. Can I type in there? Yeah. And have that for me.
Yes, Alison, thank you for your answers. I think there's a new question. I don't know if you answered that too, but regarding the types of programs are most popular among the international students?
Yeah. So in terms of our undergraduate students, it's definitely the Bachelor of Arts, because, as I mentioned, you have 13 subjects to choose from. And you do 4 in first year, and then out of those 4, pick 2, and you take it to degree level. So it's quite a versatile degree to do, and there's a lot of different job opportunities available out of it. Then I would say at master's level, it's probably the MA in Media Studies. Also the MA in Applied Linguistics, that's very popular as well. So I would really think now at undergrad as well, the BA in Early Childhood, that's actually becoming very popular. I think Ireland has actually got a very good reputation for the early childhood care and education, so that is actually, it's even getting more popular again among international students. So do we have any other questions? I hope you all got my email address anyway. I put it into the chat. So send me an email anytime. I'd be delighted to give you more information, or send you anything that you need, or as I said, put you in touch with any of our existing international students. If you want to know a little bit about how things have gone this year, I suppose with the pandemic, things have been very different. Many students arrived in September expecting to go onto campus, but our cases went up. So literally about 2 days beforehand, the government said, no, it's lockdown. Students can only study online. And students have not made it onto campus at all this year now since September, but we have made everything available online. So now some students came in September and then they went home again and kind of said, look, because we're online, we can actually still study, but we can do it at home. We are hopeful to be open again in September. It's very hard to know. We're rolling out our vaccines at the moment, so it does depend how that goes, how quickly it goes. Look, if we're not open in September, I absolutely think we would have to be open again in January. for undergraduate, and most of our masters, it's September to December, and then January to May. There are 2 semesters. There's a very long break at Christmas time, so students finish maybe early to mid-December, and they don't come back again until late January, which gives students nearly 6 weeks if they want to go home, spend some quality time at home. Gives them a nice break. Some students will actually go home for the break over the holidays, and then we finish up, I'd say, around the middle of May. Mid-May, after exams are done, students are finished. So that's generally how the semester works as well. So I can see there are some other questions. How are living expenses generally? Can I earn my life with a part-time job? Yeah, living, again, that really does depend. I have some of my US students, I've asked them, all in terms of tuition, accommodation, living, socializing. They say they can do it all for about €22,000. And like anything, it depends how much you want to socialize. You know, we have a lot around us. A lot of the international students go away at weekends within Ireland or to Europe. It's such a short hop away. So it depends how much of that you want to do as well. That's all going to end up costing more money. But Limerick actually has it's quite reasonable living costs, I would say. Can we apply to more than one program with one application fee? Yes, you actually can. Yeah, that's no problem at all. And do you accept Duolingo or TOEFL scores? Yes, we actually do. Duolingo is a temporary acceptance just during COVID. I do believe we're still accepting it, but yeah, we do accept the TOEFL scores as well there. A lot of good questions. Like I said, these do come up a lot. So if anybody even does want to arrange a one-on-one call with me, I'd be very happy to do that too. Do we have any other questions? Don't be shy. Okay, I don't think we have any more.
Yes, Alison, thank you for your answers. I think you covered all of the questions, and we had a quite good amount of questions.
Yeah, they're excellent questions, I have to say. I think the students here would be very good for MIC.
Maybe we can mention about the pandemic situation in Ireland and how the MIC handling the situation.
Yeah, well, as I did say, everybody has been online but we're hopeful things will be on campus again in September. However, we really just can't tell at this stage. All we can do is hope. There was a very robust protocol put in place for international arrivals, international student arrivals. So in September, the Department of Education actually put on buses to bring students. So a lot of students would arrive into Dublin Airport, but not every student is studying in Dublin. So buses were put on organised by the Department of Education to bring students to their accommodation in Limerick. So we had any of our students, they were brought down by bus, and there was only a few. They would have rented a big bus, but just a few seats to make sure everybody was socially distant. We had to make sure students adhered to self-restriction for 14 days after arriving, but we did make sure that we fully stocked food and everything like that for students, because basically once you're in your apartment, you had to pretty much stay there for 14 days. You were allowed to go for a walk, but not to come into contact with other people. And that included going into shops, buying food. So I would have asked students in advance of arriving, you know, have you got any specific foods that you like, anything like that? And then we made sure that we had everything stocked for them when they arrived. Additionally, then if they needed anything extra after they got here, we went and we did shopping for them and dropped it off. The government as well also made sure that, you know, if an international student got sick, that they would be looked after for free. This is under COVID. So if an international student got COVID, that everything would be looked after for free for them. So they wouldn't actually have to worry about bringing in any costs or anything like that. And then, of course, we would have had an isolation room if anybody did catch COVID. I say, touch wood, we were very fortunate that none of our international students did, but we did support them any way that they needed. And then, of course, as I said, everything was online. So any resources or that they needed, they were all made, basically maximized so that students could access online. The campus was open for things like printing and things like that, because some students would need that. But ultimately, yeah, it was more or less closed. Computer labs as well would have been open for the students. I do see there a question, is education online or hybrid during the period? It's completely online. Now, there are a few, so for instance, our theatre program, as I mentioned, it's not just acting, it's technical skills as well. There are a few classes of that on campus for the technical side of it. But for most of the other courses, no, there wouldn't be any necessity for them to go online, to go on campus, so they would have been fully online this time. I don't think there's any other program. The theatre class would be quite small, so they were able to keep the students very spread out when they did go onto campus.
Yes, so that's so nice of the MIC is taking care of the international students.
Yeah, I think it's important. I mean, I think especially for anyone who, like, we had some students who were going into second year, third year. They already had friends. They knew the city. They knew the campus. We had some students who were coming here for the first time and still, you know, they haven't experienced anything. So I think it's very important to make sure that you make them feel as welcome as possible. We have a student liaison officer within the international office as well, who would have been arranging online, you know, gatherings. And at Christmas time, any students who are still here, we kind of arranged for them all to get in touch with each other. So nobody would be alone. But yeah, so there's, you know, we try as much as possible to keep the lines of communication open and check in with people regularly. Okay, if there are no more questions, should we leave it there? And then if anybody has anything they want to follow up on with me, you're more than welcome to send me an email, and I'd be delighted to talk to you one-on-one, as I said as well.
Yes, I think we are not getting any questions. So thank you very much, Alison, for your great presentation.
That's no problem. Thank you for letting me present. It was lovely to meet all of you.
Yeah, you put a real effort answering all of the questions. We believe it was a really informative webinar for the attendees. Also, I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Mary Immaculate College ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için Alison'ın paylaşmış olduğu mail adresinden iletişime geçebilirsiniz. Aynı zamanda sizi alttaki webinarımıza da davet ediyoruz. Thank you again, Alison. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day, and I hope to hear from some of you soon. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.